Bonjour Robert,
Bonjour.
ça va, tu parles un peu français?
Un petit peu.
Les,
It's the
vam-
most obvious sentence.
les vampires parlent toutes les langues, vampires are speaking all of the languages.
Well, I can. Well, I don't know if that's a specific trait of vampires.
Because you actually are more than a century. So
Yeah, I should be able to. Yeah, I would. I should be able to. But still, he is only 17 still. So I still think he has the mentality which I had when I was 17, which was would never pay attention in school. So that's probably why I can't speak as much French as I should be able to.
I understand some words. You know, it's the first time I saw this in front of the hotel. All this crowd, all these people, and these girls, most of all. How do you manage that?
I don't really. I kind of, you know, it's always easier when it's part of the job, when you're doing a press junket or anything. You kind of, you just accept it. You're detached from everything. You're kind of, you know, you feel they're not really screaming for you or anything. I mean, it seems so ridiculous. Like, part of our day today was, you know, we were waving to the crowd, and you stand there waving for 5 minutes, and you're like, and people are still screaming outside, and you're just waving, and you're like, surely they must be thinking, we want to have something. We want to have something else. They should do something other than just wave. And we're standing there for longer and longer, going like, okay, am I still just waving still? And they're like, yeah, just keep waving, and it seems to be enough. So. It's strange. I don't really know how to handle it yet. I kind of, you know, I read the books before I started filming all the movies, and I enjoyed all the books. So I think I have my own opinion of it, which, you know, I feel like I always have just as much right to do what I feel is right in the series as other people who've read the books who think, you know, it should be their way of doing it.
You are the continuity of the books. And so the confirmation for them, the confirmation and the credible side of the vampire that they read and now they discover on the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I always just think it's the only thing that I feel I need to, I have responsibility for is for the films to not just be a film of the book for the sake of it. I mean, I think there's definitely a depth to the books. Otherwise, so many people wouldn't be so obsessed with them, and it obviously connects to people in quite a profound way. So you obviously have to find the deepest element of it, and try and portray that, so people don't feel like they've been shortchanged. I mean, I think that's the only responsibility I have to.
Have you ever come in Paris but totally unknown before the success?
Yeah, I mean, I used to come to Paris quite a bit when I was living in London. I mean, the last time I came before Twilight, I think I went about a month before I did Twilight, when no one had any idea who I was.
And at this time, can you project yourself in the future in the same place, the same town, with all this success and all these people? You felt that somewhere?
No, I mean, I was just before I did Twilight, I was going to give up acting because I was never getting any jobs, and so I was always very frustrated with the whole industry, because you didn't get the parts you wanted to get because you weren't famous enough, and because you weren't bankable enough. And I didn't like that. I always wanted to play parts that were very different to how I was as a person, and it seemed like the only parts you could ever get were parts that were almost identical to yourself, because people are so scared about investing in people. So, I mean, if you wanted to play a strange part, you had to be, it seemed, an incredibly strange person in reality, and you just play yourself. And I didn't have any interest in just playing myself. So.
And now that you're bankable, what do you want to do? Twilight 3?
I've already done it. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of, it's still difficult, because, you know, you get cast and stuff without auditions, or which is nice, and you get offers and things. But if you get an offer and then accept it, the production company, you know, expects in a certain way that, you know, you'll bring in the Twilight audience, and that's why they've cast you without a meeting or anything most of the time. and so you're still quite limited. But I mean, the good thing about it, when you do accept to do a job, you do have a lot more control. Your creative input is a lot more valued, which I always found was the most annoying thing about being an actor. You're so kind of helpless to everyone else, and a lot of the time you just feel like a puppet. But it has changed quite a bit after doing the Twilight films.
And you're more confident now.
Yeah, especially after its success. I mean, people trust you more, and you know, and they listen to you. So you definitely do inevitably get more confident.
Tell me about the movie. I saw the movie yesterday, and the special relation that you have with Bella. How can you love someone without making love with her?
That's a very French question. Yeah, I wouldn't
I'm sorry.
know. I wouldn't know. Like, I guess like a dog. No, like a pet. No, that's probably the word. No, I mean, I don't know.
What kind of pet? I mean the platonic. Side of.
I mean, it's definitely not platonic. I mean, it's always. You know, I always thought about Plato. Plato would be very upset with that becoming the definition. I'm sure Plato never really thought about himself.
He was Greek.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he really had any intention of his name being associated with not having sex with someone. Saying a platonic relationship is someone you don't have sex. I'm sure he'd be quite upset by it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's always underlying. I mean, the whole point of the movie is always going to seem like the desperation is always there. I mean, I think, yeah, in a lot of ways it's supposed to represent that kind of thing. When you're young, first love, it's kind of, people are terrified of how to behave around each other.
Tell me about the makeup and how many time you spent for the makeup and to change all your face, to be a vampire, but to be a credible vampire.
Yeah, I think in this one, it's a lot more toned down, the makeup, than in the first one. I mean, it's a lot more sheer. But it still took quite a while. I mean, it was about an hour in makeup every day. But yeah, I think it seems like it's a lot more natural in this one than it was in the last one. It seemed they're really, really standing out, all of the vampires in the first one. And in this one, it's much more like, I guess, like beauty makeup. It's kind of, it's not just they have to look stark white. Yeah. It's all, like, there's much more like shadowing and kind of contours and stuff.
On your body too?
Yeah, it takes forever. But I mean, the good thing about having makeup on your body, that you can paint in your abs and stuff. No. Like, and no one notices. Like, yeah, I'm just shading them. Like when you, but yeah, no, it makes it easier.
Are you ready to sacrifice your life for save the woman you love, like Edward?
Oh. I don't know. I mean, I guess so. I guess it depends what the situation is. I mean, if the girl had got herself into it, and just by being an idiot, then maybe I just let it go. But like, I used to go out with this girl who always used to get me into fights all the time, and like it was, and I really liked her as well. And that was the worst thing about the relationship: just constantly starting fights with people and then expecting me to deal with it afterwards. It's the worst type of relationship to be in.
Are you ready, like Edward, not to sleep with the woman you love, just to protect her, not to hurting her?
Yeah, I mean, I think girls get bored with me in a lot of ways because they know that I mean, almost incapable of hurting them. I think a lot of girls in some ways want to have that fear in the back of their minds, you know. So I don't think... yeah, I don't think I would ever be really afraid of hurting someone. And I guess I'd probably want to sleep with them as well. So it kind of puts me in a different category, I guess.
Thank you very much, man.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Thank you, Robert.